Good morning, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and today's a day, isn't it? It's been a little crazy and full, but it is what it is, right? All right, now I'm going to show you some projects that a whip first, two of them. And this whip is just the scrap blanket. And I am using a 12mm hook. Normally I use the one with a purple cover, but it was busy. And what I did is I just took all of my scraps, turned them into magic, well, they call those magic balls, whatever. You know, where you tie the ends together with the magic knot and just keep winding. That's exactly what I did. And I did that with that whole little basket full of scraps. I have some dark blues that are left over, and I'm going to leave those for the next batch of scraps. So, you know, even if we think that we're going to be done with the scraps, they just keep cropping back up, right? And then the other one is the blanket that I have started, and it is this is in terracotta by, what is it? Craftsmart at Michael's, the brand that they have. It's terracotta, and then I have another clay color that I'm just going to do some stripes back and forth with those, and that is in the pike stitch. I haven't done any more on the wrap, just kind of playing along as we go. Now, as you know, I played around with the knitting machine that I got with my Santro, not my Centro, my Santro. So, I have a lovely little hat that was done in that gumball machine or some gumball yarn, something like that. Got the label over there. And then this was in the Craftsmart, I can't remember the name of the skein. Let me see what it was. Was it Craftsmart? Yeah, Craftsmart in the color aqua, which is a real pretty aqua. Now, I knew that by getting the 40 needles, that this was going to be smaller hats. I could really stretch it to get it on my head, but I'm not going to. But I wanted the smaller ones so that I can make for smaller, you know, for teens and kids, that kind of thing. And then I made a little bigger hat that'll fit a small teen. And now, here's my ugly hat in all its glory. See that god-awful line back there? In all its glory and its ugliness. And I have not decided if I'm going to make an ugly scarf to go with it, because you never know, there might be some teen that really likes ugly. So I'm thinking about it, but it was a fun little project just to play with, you know. And Marianne over at Runaway Red, that is a great challenge for February. It just is. It allows you to use up all the little bits and scraps that you have and just go for it. Or either that, or every once in a while you may find a yarn that you think, oh, it looks lovely. But then when you put it all together, it's like, ugh. Yeah, that's what we did there. Then I did finish that blanket that I was working on. These are more lap robes than they are anything, because they're just made to go over your laps. They're not, you know, super long. And this is the one where I did the half double crochet one row, cross stitch the next. so that you get a nice little bit of texture, and it's cushy, you know, so someone will be able to use that. Now, as I disappear from view, you know, Loretta and I have been doing the crochet, the hashtag blessings challenge. And I did want to clarify, even though I have all these skeins done, here is the thing I want to clarify. I am not including the knitting machine yarns in that total because it's knitting machine. Is that really fair? I mean, I'm just, you know, cranking them out. So I'm not including that in there. So, yeah. Now, part of the reason I got the knitting machine is in waiting until the Addie Knit Pro is once again available. Because as you know, Crystal had that giveaway and she talked about the machine and everybody on earth went and bought it. So they're currently out right now. And so I'm just waiting until they're back in stock, which should be sometime about mid-February. So I figure, you know, I do have money set aside from the money that I make with the channel. I also have birthday money and Christmas money, those kind of things set aside for that. So when they do finally show up. And I went and checked this morning because I was curious what the going rate was. There is one on eBay that's up into, I think, $500 people are bidding on. And then Amazon has one with the seller that's $385. Now, folks, the Woolery, when they have had them, they run anywhere from $149 to $169, depending on the things you add on to them. Lion Brand had them for $199. So, you know, once these places get restocked, those prices should go down. They really shouldn't stay up. But then again, who knows? Maybe the greed will get, you know, with people. But what I wanted to show you is what I've been doing is I have been marking on the labels, like this one. Hope it'll fix in. Focus, focus. We're not going to focus. Focus, there we go. What I've been doing is labeling any labels that I've used, the full label, with the knitting machine, as in knitting machine. It'll count for totals for my year for how much I'm using. However, I just felt like I needed to clarify that because it's not fair. You know, if you're using a knitting machine, when our challenge was based on knitting and crochet by hand. So that's what I'm doing there. Plans. Mr. Purrsalot. I decided I wanted to make Mr. Purrsalot. And we all know my problems with Derpy. Amigurumi. But I am going to make Mr. Purrsalot. I've already purchased the pattern. But I honestly don't think I'm going to do it in the bulky weight because that would mean I'd have to go out and buy some more bulky weight. And I don't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in a worsted weight with the appropriate needle size. Maybe I'll hold 2 strands together. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I am going to make Mr. Purrsalot because he's adorable. And I want to support our fellow sister, Crystal, with her endeavors. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I think that is it. Oh, one exception. Over at the prayer shawl, one of the ladies and I we are responsible for keeping track of how many items we have, how many go out, those kind of things. So, we've been trading things back and forth. She has given me some thank you cards to include when I sell bags. So I plan on doing that, but I have a bunch of rubber stamps that I'm not using, and I don't think I'm going to get back into paper crafts anytime soon. And she loves using those, so I'm going to take them next time we're together so she can go through them and see which she wants, and then I'll probably list the others on eBay or maybe in my Etsy shop, I don't know. But she was coming across some things, and she found a couple of items she had that she decided she was going to get rid of and asked me if I wanted them. And this one I thought was rather ingenious. Can you see those numbers there? You see how small this is? This is a foot ruler. Each one of these little squares is an inch. But it's so nice because you could roll it up and have it nice and compact. I thought it was cute. She asked me if I wanted it, and I thought, sure, I'll play with it for a little while. Besides that, it seems like whenever I am looking for my rulers, tape measures, they're off in a project bag, in notions bag, that kind of thing. So, the other thing, update you on Thomas with the pain medication issue. It was our health insurance's pharmacist that put the hold on it. Basically, he didn't think there was a reason for him to have it. He questioned it. Thomas thought that it was because there is a place in there when you get a prescription filled, they can tell you how many days it's filled for. And the first one was not. There wasn't anything in that, but I can't remember, and I can't find, the pharmacy, what we got from the pharmacy sheet that shows that. So, Thomas in the meantime called I call them Blues Clues. It's the nurse that's, your case manager and always calls you. All insurances have them. They call you and ask if there's any questions you might have or any needs you might identify that they can help you with, and want to tell you about benefits that you might not be aware of that you have, blah, blah, blah. Well, I call them Blues Clues with Highmark, Blue Shield, Blue Cross. And the reason I do that is because when my gastroparesis was the worst, and I was talking with them, the nurse had no idea what gastroparesis was. She knew I was diabetic, and she kept telling me I needed to eat more fiber. And with gastroparesis, that is an absolute no-no. So I called them then No Blues Clues. I've since changed because I no longer even use them as a reference. But he called and talked to him while I was off getting groceries and getting yarn for Purrsalot. And in the meantime, he'd found out that this doctor had not even really reviewed his case, even though he said he had reviewed it, and come to find out, this poor guy got a ton of doctors calling him, which is good to know that our doctors had his back, those kind of things, and kind of gave him a hard time about denying some of the things they were denying. And that was the reason they put the pre-authorization on there, is because they didn't think he had need for it. So it's apparent that the fellow didn't even look at his tumor markers, or anything. So I doubt he even reviewed the case. And Thomas had asked the nurse, if he was even up to speed on his case. And he said, no, that is not something that they normally do. They don't review any of the reports that come in, those kind of things. So then why do they bother calling you? But anyway, pain medication is there. Unfortunately, he has had increased pain, discomfort, and had to use more of it. Before he was using Tylenol and that was covering it, but now it just isn't. But tomorrow we start chemotherapy. And I say we. I know it's mostly him, but it's we. Because we both get to deal with the after effects. All right, are you ready for a little what incarnation? Ultrasound photos left in leased car returned to parents 2 years later. An Illinois couple said what initially seemed to be junk mail from a local car dealership turned out to be the first ultrasound images of their daughter, which they lost 2 years earlier. Elise Peterson Deerfield said she received a piece of mail last week from local dealership Toyota on Edens, and she initially thought it was junk, but inside there were some ultrasound photos and a handwritten note from Michael Townsend, the general manager. Mr. and Mrs. Peterson, I believe the enclosed imaging is very significant to you. It may have come from a vehicle returned. It is from some time ago, Townsend wrote. Townsend said the ultrasound images were found in the glove compartment of a vehicle at the dealership. He said he ran the names on the images through the dealer's database and discovered a couple by that name had previously leased the vehicle. I just knew. I don't know why I'm tearing up. To everybody else, it probably wouldn't matter that much, but to this family, it was gonna be everything. I was praying it would be them and sent it out, and the rest is history. The Petersons said the images were the first ultrasound photos of their daughter, taken almost exactly 2 years before the letter arrived. Kindness, folks. Kindness. It just really instilled hope and goodness to realize people will go the extra mile to return something this meaningful. And there is video, and she also says they know where they'll probably be going for their next car. No doubt. All right. Inventor unveils airbag jeans to protect motorcyclists in accidents. A designer of safety equipment for motorcyclists unveiled his latest invention, jeans fitted with airbags to prevent leg injuries in crashes. And I'm going to butcher his name. Moses Shahrivar, who has been designing motorcycle safety jeans since partnering with Harley-Davidson Sweden 16 years ago, said his latest invention uses similar technology to airbag-equipped vests that are currently on the market for protecting a rider's chest, back, and neck in a crash. I didn't even know those were available. I'm not a motorcyclist. The jeans, which Shahrivar demonstrated in a YouTube video posted to the official account of his Cycle brand, are tethered to the rider's motorcycle, and when the tether is pulled, airbags deploy up and down the wearer's legs to cushion an impact. Only one prototype of the airbag inside Sweden AB jeans currently exists, but Shahrivar is in process of getting the jeans certified to European Union health and safety standards and hopes to bring them to market in 2022. Can you imagine how many road burn that would stop having those? That would be a great thing to have. All you folks who love candy, and my first thought is, Sandy of Crochet has done a lot of taste testing videos. And I thought of her but with her blood sugar, she probably needs to pass on this one. Company seeking paid candyologists to taste test candy. A Canadian company is seeking full-time and part-time candyologists to serve as taste testers for the company's confections. Candy Fun House, based in Mississauga, Ontario, said the remote working positions offer $47 an hour to sample and review some of the company's 3,000 candy and chocolate treats. Can we say diabetes? Candidates should have enthusiasm and eagerness to try confectionery products. Sorry. The job posting states, "We are looking for honest and objective opinions on the products that will be taste tested. Applications are being accepted online through February the 15th, and there is a link to go apply if you'd like to. Just remember, diabetes." This next one is one of my favorite videos that I have seen all week long, and I know you've probably already seen this, but here's the backstory. A Toronto woman finds knife-wielding squirrel in backyard. A Toronto woman captured video when she looked into her backyard and was confronted with a bizarre sight. A squirrel holding a knife. Andrea Diamond, who lives in Rosedale area of Toronto, said squirrels are a common sight in her backyard. But Wednesday morning, she spotted a squirrel that had picked up a paring knife she had left near a tent outside her home. So apparently knife-wielding squirrels are a thing now, Diamond tweeted, along with footage of the squirrel. She said the rodent gnawed on the knife handle for a while before abandoning the tool. She said the animal returned a short time later to chew on the knife a little longer. Diamond said the squirrel did not appear to have injured itself with the sharp object. And there's a link to her Twitter account where she has the video. And it just made me laugh because one of the stories I haven't reported on, read to you, was about all the vicious squirrels in New York that are attacking people. But could you imagine if you were in New York walking along in Central Park and here comes a knife-wielding squirrel? just makes me laugh out loud. Now this next one I find rather cute, and it shows that our animals either are mocking us or are very considerate of us. Man spends $400 to find out limping dog was imitating owner. A British man said he spent about $400 to have a veterinarian examine his dog's limp, but it turned out the canine was just imitating his owner, who had a broken ankle. Russell Jones of London said he noticed after his ankle was broken that his dog Billy was keeping one of his front paws raised while walking. Jones posted a video to Facebook showing the dog hopping next to him as he walks with the use of crutches. Jones said he spent about $400 to have a veterinarian examine Billy and take x-rays of his apparently injured leg, but the medical professional was unable to find anything wrong. The veterinarian told Jones his dog was imitating the way he walks with his broken ankle. Jones said Billy has been limping since the day after his ankle injury. Now, I linked a video to Good Morning America. No, Good Morning in London. And there's like a 5-minute interview and several videos. It's quite interesting. But it also reminds me of my son. My son's fiance had to go out of town for some kind of seminar or something for probably about a week, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And the pit bull, the mix that they had, stopped eating. And, my son got really concerned because was worried about what was going on, what's wrong with the dog. And, you know, it was Laura's dog. And here it is, it's getting sick on his watch. So he takes it to the vet. And $800 later, he finds out the dog is just missing Laura. Happens. This next story, I find it kind of upsets me, and I'll tell you why. My husband's mother had these little Dutch kissing concrete things out in her front yard, and one day people pulled in, and you could see because they'd left tire marks on the yard and everything, and snatched those like right before Mother's Day. So, we'd always teased, I hope whoever got those for Mother's Day really enjoyed them. This story reminds me of that. 2 100-pound lion statues stolen from Pennsylvania porch. Pennsylvania family is offering a $500 reward for the safe return of a pair of 100-pound lion statues taken from an 87-year-old woman's porch. Constance Hartman of Hanover Township said the lions were symbols of her family restaurant when it operated from 1986 until 2003, and they have since adorned the porch of her home. Hartman said the lions were discovered missing from their bases Saturday morning. I just can't imagine what anybody can do with them. I mean, it's not like you stole a purse you can throw in the garbage. What do you do with 200 pounds of lions? Hartman told WNEP TV. She said the lions were popular neighborhood landmarks. When the kids will come by, when they're in their strollers, they'll stop, they pet the lions and give them kisses, and they just were a part of the building. It's sad. I mean, what could anybody want with them? She said. Hartman said her security cameras failed to record the theft, but she is hoping neighbors may have captured footage that will aid in the investigation. Hartman's family is offering $500 reward for the safe return of the stolen lions or information that would lead to the arrest and conviction of the thieves. People are creeps and idiots and cruel to people. And, I find myself thinking, well, I hope that they broke a finger getting them into the car or truck or whatever that they were doing. But I sure hope she gets her lions back. Because that's a sad thing to lose, especially when it was in remembrance of the restaurant that she and her family had for so many years. So, all right, you know the deal. Practice kindness. Give a little kindness out each day, and you'll make a much pleasanter place to live in. But I'm going to add one more thing today. I'm going to provide a link down below to a new channel, and it is She's Got Yarn Too. And this is Nancy. She has probably about 83 subscribers as of this morning. Let's see if we can get her numbers up. She has a beautiful channel, and she's got a beautiful wall of yarn behind her and surrounding her. And her latest video, she talks about the yarns that she found at her Dollar Tree. One of them has flowers in it. Springtime flowers. That sounds like a pretty neat yarn to have to make hats or something with. So anyway, everybody have a blessed week. I'll see you again soon. And remember, kindness does great wonders.